In a 3-2 vote, the Jackson County Board of Elections voted to close the polling site at Western Carolina University for the 2026 primary.
But because it was not unanimous, the decision ultimately heads to the state. News 13's Taylor Thompson attended the very emotion-packed meeting and reports.
The room was full on Tuesday morning between students, faculty, and concerned Cullowhee residents about the idea of eliminating the early voting site at Western.
Recent data by Chris Cooper said the WCU voting site has a younger and more diverse voting turnout than any other site in Jackson County. That is a quality of our elections we should be proud to support.
It's been proven that if people aren't familiar with polling sites, the unfamiliarity with where the voting sites are will cause confusion and discourage participation.
Previously, the board decided they needed to consolidate early primary voting locations in Cullowhee to save on money. There are currently 2 locations, one at Western and another at the Cullowhee Rec Center.
We don't need 2 locations less than 2 miles apart. I'm sorry. That's crazy.
Board Chair Bill Thompson continued to meet a ton of opposition.
Removing the WCU voting site would create unnecessary barriers for a large population of eligible voters.
There was one speaker who agreed with Chair Thompson.
I personally don't see a big deal about students getting to early voting sites off campus. As extended as early voting is, anybody that's really serious about voting can do so.
Board member Jay Pavey says in the 2024 primary, only 4.5% of the student population voted at the campus site.
What we're establishing the voting for is for the primary. Now, my vote could very well be different if we were talking about a midterm or a general. We were talking the primary, and I want everyone to understand, this is not about voter suppression, okay? Let's get rid of that.
The board was divided.
Switching around, like saying we have early voting here this year, but not for the next election, or and maybe we'll do it for this election, creates confusion, which I think all by itself suppresses the vote.
All in favor say aye.
The board was divided, ultimately leading to 3 board members voting to eliminate the Western primary voting site and 2 voting to keep it going.
Again, I want to reiterate this is only referring to the voting plan for the 2026 primary. Now, whatever the State Board of Elections decides will determine if WCU will once again have an early voting location site for the primary or not. In Jackson County, I'm Taylor Thompson, News 13.